You know what time it is. You're listening to the All Burgundy and Gold Errrything Commanders post-game show powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. I'm Wole. I'm joined by my guy, George. The homie Glen will be joining us shortly. But all right, in their final preseason game, the Washington Commanders fell to the Baltimore Ravens 30-3. Before we get into this game, let's knock out some logistics. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Errrything. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything and hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_Errrything. Please make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Errrything YouTube channel as well. If you are in the YouTube chat, we have set super chats. Super chats help us support the show. Your super chats will be prioritized in the YouTube chat section. All right. Also, our post-game show is being streamed on the Urban Sports Scene X handle as well. All right. Let's get right into it. George, I mentioned the score, 30-3. Preseason scores aren't really the outcome of the game in terms of wins or losses. Typically don't matter that much in preseason, but what were your overall thoughts in this matchup with the Commanders Ravens?
Well, I'll be honest, they tried to put me to sleep. Some of that game was really hard to watch. But my overriding thoughts are two. One is enough of Sam Hartman.
Mm-hmm.
Enough. We know he's handsome. We know the ladies like looking at him. I've had enough of watching him play football. And I hate to steal one of your lines, Wole, but I have to do it.
Go for it, George.
The other is that Luke McCaffrey, he's a nice guy.
Look.
He's a really nice guy.
I'm sure he is, man.
I mean, he at least made a couple plays. He did make a play on special teams and a couple catches, but yeah, there was some other stuff where I'm like, I think I'm kind of getting to the end of my tether with him now a little bit too, because we don't know what the situation at wide receiver is still going to look like in 2 weeks, and I just want to see something out of somebody that's not named Deebo Samuel at this point.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. It's an interesting situation. I think the quarterback play is definitely something that the back of quarterback play is something that definitely should be looked at. Luke, they were trying to highlight Luke McCaffrey, saw him on a lot of bubble screens, so they tried. It is what it is. I mean, all jokes aside, I know I'm like hard on the individual, the young man, but it is what it is. They chose a project. And I think that you're kind of seeing what he is. And it's not a knock on him. I think people got so fixated in his last name and not the player. And people would argue with me. I'm doing my laps. But like people would argue with me. And I would say, all right, well, we'll see. And then when you see it on the field, you don't stand out. At the end of the day, I don't think it's hard to know this. Like when you're playing against backups or whatnot, if you're that dude, you're gonna showcase talent. Like Krosky Merritt, like against the second, like when you go in against the Bengals, I don't care how like the Bengals defense wasn't spectacular by any stretch of imagination, or it wasn't like a top tier defense, and it was the second level, the secondary, the more of the reserve, the second unit. But he showed out, so there's talent, there's ability. Like when you can't show out against the secondary dudes, then you're just another guy. Yeah, we'll get some of these players that didn't like pan out, but my overall thought of it was like it's the last preseason game. I don't think it's that much to really look at it in that regard in terms of like the outcome. I think we kind of knew where this team was at when it comes to depth from the Patriots outing. I think we kind of know what they are. So I don't like grading like the entire unit as a whole. I think we kind of get a gist of like where their depth lies, right? So I didn't look at it like, oh man, like this team sucks outside of our starters. You just try to focus in on guys that that you feel like will actually play on Sundays. You know what I mean? But I'm with you. The backup quarterback play has been atrocious on both sides, for both the individuals. I mean, Josh Johnson threw an interception in the red zone, in the red zone, basically. And then you had Hartman giving up a pick six. And that's funny because I said this on the Urban Sports Scene, I think preview show with Karita and Candy. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. And I said that like the Ravens secondary will probably get some picks if they need. If you need to feel good, they'll probably get some picks in that game, and they may get a house call. And it came to fruition.
I mean that was, you could see it coming a mile away. As soon as he threw it, you knew it was going the other way. It was, oh man, just I mean that was just, oh God. And it at least in the New England game, you could say, well, the receivers didn't help Sam, and they dropped some passes that could have made him look better. This was no good today. Paul, if he'd have missed that second field goal,
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. We're gonna say that for because we got a portion where we talk about all these like that type of stuff. But let's get into it in terms of obviously we can talk about the guys who didn't, but let's start with let's be positive. Who are some of the guys that really helped themselves today, in your opinion?
Well, not that he needed it for me, but again, Chris Rodriguez. You don't expect for somebody of his size to get through the line as quickly as he does. There's something to work with there, and my hope is that when we get to this game against the Giants, and at least for the first month, we're going to split carries. We're going to see him and Bill and Austin Eckler all getting carries until we kind of figure out a rotation, because, okay, there's not a clear number one at running back, but we've got good running backs.
Yeah.
This is why Brian Robinson's not here, is that Chris Rodriguez is finally getting a chance, which is an agenda Wole and I have both had since early last year. And I think you're seeing it again. He's not only going to give you that, he's going to bust his tail in pass protection if you need him to. You can even throw it to him once in a while. I was happy. I was very happy with Chris Rodriguez. That was a big positive for me. And Colson Yankoff getting the big play was the other one, because that we've been looking for that from like Ben Sinnott and some of the other tight ends. That was nice to see from Colson Yankoff.
Yeah, I think to your point, I think that that running catch was he showed speed too. I didn't know he was a former running back in UCLA. I didn't know he was a former running back. You can see it either. You can see it. Again, and he's a guy. I think that if it was a real fair competition and Yankoff, I think he would be over a tight end we'll talk about later. If it's a fair competition, I feel like there's always, this is what I tell folks, there's politics in football. Like just because someone's drafted ahead or playing ahead of somebody doesn't mean they're actually better. Just that person may be a regime's draft pick, and there's a preference. You know what I mean? It was the same thing, and I know I'm crapping on the kid, but it's the same thing when we did draft Luke McCaffrey. As soon as we drafted Luke McCaffrey, and he's a third round pick, folks were saying he's better than De'Ami Brown. Folks were saying he's better than Jahan Dotson. They were saying he's better than all these dudes, and I was like, he's not. You know what I mean? He's not better than these individuals. Now, but just because a regime drafts somebody doesn't mean that player is better. It's just a personal preference, and it is what it is. And they're hoping that player, because they see that player as a project, that a guy that was upside, so they're going to give that player all the opportunity to be successful until they let them down. You know what I mean? And what's happening with some of these draft picks, unfortunately, they're letting the team down. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate. For me, some of the players that I think that I was kind of I think helped themselves. One, I thought that Jordan McGee helped himself. And initially, I just thought he was everywhere. He was flying to the football. He had a bunch of tackles. You could tell he was tired too, because he was kind of going all out. And I was glad to see him play. I thought he helped himself tremendously. Just to me, his energy and him flying to the football. Yankoff, obviously, like you said, George, I thought he helped himself. Think about defensively. Who did I think helped themselves defensively? That I was watching. I was like, okay, they're playing well. I thought, Tyler Owens. I thought he played well too. He had a
Tyler Owens had a couple plays, which was nice to see. Yes,
I thought he had a really good showing. Let me see some of these comments. Let's see. Yeah, show me a lot. Yeah, AP show me a lot of just cutting Luke. We'll talk about Luke. Hey, what's going on, Mike? Appreciate you, Mike. To you too, George. Let's see any comments about anybody who they thought stood out. I thought so. Thank you. Yeah, all the linebackers. I thought the linebackers played well. You know what I mean? I thought there was a couple missed tackles I didn't like.
The first couple of possessions weren't great because they ran the football pretty
effectively. That was more.
But it did get better.
It got better. It got better. I felt like, the D line wasn't great, either. There's a lot. Ja'Cory Brook, like, you said you think Luke helped himself? I mean, in special teams he did. I mean, making tackles, but I feel like that's not a role that you want him to have. Like I thought Luke hustled. Luke played like and this is wild. I thought Luke played like a dude that is desperate to make the team, which is wild for a third rounder, right? Think about it. For a third rounder, after you just got drafted last year. Now you played with an energy as if you were on the bubble. So if you say that shows you how low he is on a depth chart, I'll say that much. But he played to make the team. Like he hustled. Offensively, though, I don't think he did anything like to wow you with. Coach Lombard said AP had 3 busts in 1 year. Hampton sent it. I mean, Hampton was I don't call Hampton a bust because Hampton was a late round.
Was like a 5th or 6th
round
pick.
Yeah, so it's not like you should be worried about I'm never worried about a 5th round. But I do agree with like McCaffrey and Sennett, where you drafted them at, they're supposed to be productive.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be productive. Oh, question.
Those picks.
Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
Those picks further down the draft are important because you see it today. This roster is not where we want it to be yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a clear thing. And I saw David Harrison just tweet that. Mm-hmm. It's like you have to keep reminding yourself that it's a multi-year process to get this roster to where it needs to be at.
Well, depending on,
and it's not there right now.
Yeah, well, depending on but see, that depends. I think people use that. This is where I'm at. You're right. It depends, but it depends how aggressive you are with it. To be honest with you, because again, I can make the argument. I've said this before. There's certain rosters that once they get lightning in a bottle, then they just build on it instantaneously. Like when Houston, when they knew that CJ Stroud was okay, then they just built on it instantaneously. Good draft picks, good free agent, good trades. They're aggressive. I use the Rams as a big example. When the Rams got it, they were like, all right, we're going all in. It was more of an aggressive. It depends how aggressive you are. Now, if you and your philosophy is, if you believe in building it in the draft, then yes, it's going to take some time to build it the way you want to. Hence how he's building it. 1 year picks, 1 year signings, draft picks, right? Now he has to hit the issues that he has to hit on these draft picks, all, like to what Coach Lombard was saying. He has to hit on these draft picks for real, though, if you're gonna go that route. Like you can't be drafting projects in the second or third round, and thinking that you're gonna build a powerhouse. You have to hit on the second, third round dudes. The ones that that are supposed to impress you is when you hit on the late round picks. That's why I do give him credit for Brandon Coleman. I thought Brandon Coleman, where he drafted Brandon Coleman, was great. But yeah, if you're gonna do it that way, you got to hit on this. You got to the dudes that you expect to help your team off the rip. You got to hit in the second, and those are second, third round, first, second, third round picks. You got to hit early. You can't play with those players. You can't say I like his skill set. Oh, I project him to be this, and he really hasn't done it on Saturdays like that. Those players that if you're going that route, you get those players in the fourth, like the 4th, 5th, 6th round. Or 7th round.
Yep.
Those are project players. But yeah, if you're gonna go that route, which I do agree, you do got to turn the roster around. I do agree, it does take time, but it depends on how you do it. Like it depends. If you're gonna go the draft route, then you better hit. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Like but again, I'm gonna stick on like Jordan McGee because I was so impressed with Jordan McGee. I was very impressed with him. And then George, and like you said, Christian Rodriguez with somebody, but again, every time we see him play, he's productive, right? He puts in.
That's the thing. It's like there's a reason that Wole and I and quite a few other people online had an agenda about him because every time he got a chance last year, he showed you something good, and he really deserved more opportunities last year. And not that it was all his fault, but McNichols did not look good today. So I know a lot of people are saying, McNichols is going to be on this roster, and maybe he will be.
Oh, he is. He's definitely going to be on this roster. He's definitely going to be on the roster.
But that wasn't much today from him, in the backfield. He didn't produce a lot.
Go ahead.
So I mean, I think that's why some of us are big Chris Rodriguez fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit concerned that we haven't gotten everything out of this preseason that we've needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just wonder if the starters have played enough. And I understand some of our guys are veterans, and they probably didn't need a lot of work, or maybe didn't need any work.
Mm-hmm.
But I walk away. I'm a little bit frustrated that even with the new regime, I feel like I'm watching the same thing that I used to watch under other regimes, which is we really don't use the preseason to the full effect that we should. And I think that's my biggest concern coming out of this game today.
Nah, that's the wrong one. I gotta delete that one. Um, Good question. That's a good one. I mean, it depends. Like preseason, they don't use preseason the way I would typically want them to use it, but it's not. I get it though, because it's just a new era of how how preseason is set up, though, right? Because of the 3 games, everybody has their own way of doing it. I don't. It's tough, bro. It is. It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I've got a question for Michael in the chat because he says Luke is always open, and we've heard that in other games. And so here's my question about that. What kind of I mean, should we be throwing him the ball down the field more? Is that the problem with Luke? Is that why he wasn't getting it? Is it just purely that the quarterbacks are struggling and it'll be better if he gets a chance, with Jaden Daniels at the trigger? That's because today they tried to feature him, and granted, I know it was a lot of short stuff, but
let me correct it. I mean, let me correct it for you, because I feel like the Luka gets open thing is a narrative that was a thing. I mean, that was the beginning of last year. And I said the same thing I said with Terry. I said dudes are running open, and I said that Jaden is a little younger. He's younger right now, so he doesn't trust his eyes, so he's going to take off. I said some of these receivers are open. That hasn't, like, as Jaden got better, Luke wasn't staying getting open after that anymore. There's a reason why he didn't get the ball when Jaden got comfortable. Luke did get open at the beginning of the season. They schemed him open, but towards when Jaden got to be Jaden, and y'all can watch it, because even when Jaden, Luke wasn't getting separation, because he would throw the ball to Luke at times during the end of last year, and Luke didn't make plays out of it. When Jaden became Jaden, and it's the same thing I told folks, as the season went forward, and then towards the end towards the mid end of the season, Jaden got better as a passer, and he saw the field better, and Luke wasn't getting open at that particular point in time. Hence, that's why Diami played more. Hence, why Olamide played more. So, like that narrative was early, and I agree with you. Early, yes, he was getting open. He wasn't getting open towards the end. Luke ain't getting open now, because that's just a narrative people have been just sharing. He hasn't been getting open. And even the reporters let you know. That's the thing. Like, we can't keep arguing it. Like, people who've been there and been in these, they went to the joint practices. People who have been in favor of Luke McCaffrey, they've said this. Like, he wasn't even getting open in the joint practices. They say that Trey Amos been putting the work on him. So I'm just saying, like, he ain't. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the truth, and that's no lie. Oh, George is okay. That's Glen. Okay, I didn't know who that was. GLT Solutions is Glen. What's up, Glen?
Hey, Glen.
I ain't lying. I mean, ain't no lie. Look, man, at this point in time, like, Luke is a dude that played. He went to Michigan. He played quarterback. He left Michigan. They changed his position to wide receiver. He's a project. It is what it is. I know his last name is McCaffrey. It sounds cool. You think his father was a good NFL wide receiver. His brother is one of the best running backs in his era. I get it. Like, I get why people think like he should be good. I'm gonna be real. Just another guy. You look at the landscape of young dudes coming out of college playing receiver. These dudes are good off the rip because they're so well coached. They got so much ability now compared to other guys, other receivers that used to just come into this league and it took them time. A lot of these dudes can take off the rip right now. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I know it sounds good. People want this dude to be good. I get it. Like, I totally get it. But bottom line, and when you're talking the landscape of receivers in the NFL, he ain't it.
especially the way college is just turning them out.
Yes.
I mean, again, I think we're. I mean, and some of this may inform why the Terry situation is the way it is. I think wide receivers are going to be headed for where running backs are, where unless you're the very best, it's going to be hard to get a big contract because there's more coming behind you, coming out of college. It's crazy, and I guess, and I think your point is, and the point that you hit on that just kind of triggered something to me is that there really is no reason to go for a converted anything when it comes to wide receiver anymore. When you got this many wide receivers coming out of college who can produce all over the place. And speaking of the wide receiver, there's somebody else I've also kind of had enough of, but this is everybody too. I had enough of Chris Moore.
What? He dropped that one again. That pass, he dropped it. Yeah, it's a drop. That's a drop.
I mean, Hartman's thrown that's a great throw from Hartman.
Yeah.
And he's got to catch that football and get in the end zone there. Now, I mean, again, we can't defend the rest of Sam Hartman's performance.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's an NFL throw that he's made. And you got to catch that and haul it in, especially when you're a veteran. You've been in this league how many dadgum years?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Timothy, you're right. Moore's getting cut, and I'm just like that. And again, I know these guys. Most of these guys that play today ain't going to be playing. Ain't going to have a major role, in 2 Sundays from now. But I am concerned about the fact that there's been so many mental errors in these games from these players because you've got even if you know that it's a long shot to make the roster, you're putting tape on there for other teams. You're trying to get yourself an opportunity with somebody else, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just been so many mental mistakes. And to go back to Luke, the big one was on that one of them plays. He just airballed the block. Like he missed the block and McNichols loses like 4 yards. And that's not McNichols' fault. Mm-hmm. It's like, come on, dude. You just again, I was hoping to see a little bit more sharpness, even from the backups. Taj.
Gotta have you back, Taj. Yes. I fixed it. You're back now, Taj.
Yes.
And Timothy, I fixed it for you. Timothy, I fixed it for you too as well. I know you asked before. I fixed it for you too.
Yeah. So it's like that's the difficulty here is even if you didn't think it was going to be very good because of what happened with New England and it unfortunately ended up just like that, I was hoping that there would be a little more sharpness and a little more desperation like what you were talking about. But again, we saw it from Luke. We saw it from a few others. And, man, there were just so many mental mistakes out there again. It's just like, God dang it.
Yeah, I do want to harp on. There's some guys I do think they helped themselves. Like I said, like Tyler almost helped himself. Yeah. I think Brooks consistently helps himself. I think again, that's where the politics in football. Like he's outplayed McCaffrey, and if you listen to the broadcast, they made it seem like he may get cut. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why he can only get cut is because again of a receiver that probably doesn't deserve that shine. Doesn't deserve that opportunity. Will get that opportunity over him. So, but to me, he's been consistent. He's probably been the most consistent Commanders wide receiver in preseason. And then from all the reports, what I like is that he showed it in camp and he's showing it in game. So, and he's not doing it with the best quarterback play. That's another thing. He's not doing with say a Jaden or doing it with say even the Marcus Mariota. He's doing it with guys that we've been insulting as backup quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So like I gotta give him his flowers.
That's right.
But I will say, but the thing that stood out to me, this is a telling sign, and it goes to what Paul and Mike have been telling me, and so I gotta give them their flowers as well. Like I don't know if it's and you too, George. I don't know if it's injury or whatever, but I do feel like Chris Rodriguez played in this preseason game. Mm-hmm. Bill did not. Mm-hmm. And if it's not injury, I feel like because of that, but barring Austin Eckler being the running back number 1, I do believe now that probably Krosky Merritt is going to be running back 1. Like I do see that. I think that it's in line. Like it's kind of like I'm a believer. The last preseason game kind of tells you what people think of what. Like Trey Amos is definitely obviously we know he's a back. He's a second cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Lattimore is 1. But I do think that, I feel like the last preseason game in terms of how it's set up now kind of tells you who's what. You know what I mean? Because now I'm looking at, Chris Rodriguez, he played, and I thought he played well. Like, I don't know if he's running back 3, and I mean 3 in terms of on the depth chart 3, but in terms of getting carries, he's probably number, maybe 3 in general. Like, and and in terms on third down, Eckler's on third down, and probably I think Nichols will be on third down a lot too because he can pass pro. So I do think that in that regard, you said Chris is 4. Yeah, I think it depends.
Could
They're
be.
interchangeable.
I hope not.
They're
I hope not,
interchangeable.
but it could be.
Yeah.
I just
And it's
they definitely should. I mean, they're definitely going to keep 4 running backs. I think they've got to do that. Somebody brought
4,
up
I believe.
that said somebody earlier in the chat was saying they should only keep 2 quarterbacks. My only issue with that is Mariota going to be physically okay? Because I mean,
that's a good point.
And I understand he knows the offense better than anybody, and arguably he probably doesn't need much work in a preseason. But I would at least have been comfortable. I would have been a lot happier if we could have seen 1 or 2 series out of him. And he's back there, and he's fine. And I think that's going to be the question: is what's his health status, and are they going to look? We've been talking about we're going to be looking at these roster cuts, and there might be receivers that we pick up. Maybe if Mariota's not healthy, then they need to maybe look at picking up a quarterback so that they have another quarterback on the roster if they're not going to go with Johnson or Hartman, which I think most of our chat would be perfectly happy to not see either one of them in a Commander's uniform again. So I think that's going to be something to look for on Tuesday with these roster cuts, is that he might be picking up a quarterback too.
Yeah, man. It is a concern. I agree with Taj. It's a concern. Let's just hope that Jay doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
That's all we gotta look at, man. Let's just hope Jay doesn't get hurt. Let's see what we got here. Taj, Chris is the number 4. Bill went off the rip. Seems like it. Won't even lie. Seems like it. That or it's Eckler. Eckler barely played preseason too. I'm a big believer in that. Kind of tells you, leaves your hand. Like if a dude barely gets burned in preseason, they pretty much are letting you know like how valuable that person is to them.
And they have to be careful with Eckler because his injury history is extensive.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's the thing. It's like, we got questions about the kick return game. We'd love to see Eckler in the kick return game.
I don't think you're going to see him there. That's what I'm saying.
They can't do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm my thought process, because of like that alone. That's what I'm like. Are they going to utilize him like how going back to like the Chargers, making him? I mean, you're not going to give him 30 carries, but are you going to make him the one who gets the lump share of the carries because you're taking away other responsibilities from it? And when I mean lump sum, it doesn't mean all like because they're in the spread, so he's not running in between tackles all the time. Like they're going to spread them out. I'm very interested because again, even Krosky Murray as a young guy, like he's still at this point in time in his career, he's still small, so you don't want to give him a wear and tear in his body. Like he's not. You don't want to give him all those carries too. So I think it truly will be by committee. But I'm interested to see how they share carries though, how they do it, because that gets to like I like looking at preseason as clues in terms of who gets work, who gets burned, and who's got a lot of. Just like we look at Jaden. Jaden got 1 series, right? That was it.
Yeah.
Eckler got what? This what did Eckler get?
I'm not even sure he got 1 series.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it lets you know a little bit of how valuable they view him. You know what I mean? Same as Zach Ertz. Did Zach Ertz get any work?
No, he didn't either. Didn't either because
Yeah. So I just feel like I mean, Lucas is a kickoff return. He was good at kickoff.
He was
return.
okay last year. Coach.
No, I'm gonna give him his flowers. I'm not gonna be mean at him. He was good at kickoff return. I thought he was way better than what we had. Other than Eckler, I thought he was the best. He was the second. He was the best on the team.
I mean, I'd still want to see Lane back there, although I'm guessing
we're going to see
Lane is going to have a key role as a wide receiver.
No, you're going to see Lane back there. No, you're going to see Lane. You're going to see Lane back there. I
hope so.
I know. I think you'll see Lane as punt returner. I'm not sure the kickoff returner. That's the thing.
Either way, I want to see Lane in the return game because we need a jolt in that section. And I love what Michael said that you put up there, that there might be several positions that we get off cuts, because that's something we got to remember. We didn't get. I think we got Noah Brown off roster cuts.
Yeah,
is what I remember last year.
Something like that was
and that helped.
Yeah, it was a roster cut.
Noah Brown, when he was healthy, helped him a little bit. So I think, Michael, I think you're onto something with that. I think you might be right about multiple positions are going to be looked at from these roster cuts, and I think that's what's going to make Tuesday interesting. Is that there might be some people who initially make it, and then unfortunately later that day or the next day they might find themselves, heading for the practice squad or going through waivers or whatever, because we find somebody that's cut that we go, oh, that guy can help us right away. Duke Riley is another guy that we just got.
Yeah.
Who had a couple plays today.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering if he's going to make it now.
It's going to be hard. The linebackers aren't other. So you got, we're not doing a roster show, but if you look at it right now, you got Bobby, you got Frankie, you got
Jordan.
Now I think Jordan's going to definitely make it because of the way he because I was concerned about Jordan, and then they took him out pretty quickly after his performance. So I think Jordan is, like, to your point, Jordan. I like was it how you say Kahu? Yeah, I like him.
Cahill, yeah.
Cahill, sorry, Cahill.
He had some plays.
Michael, I liked him. He looked good. He did look good. But I think maybe he's going to probably be a practice squatter. I think it'll be a practice squatter.
And Medrano had a couple plays.
Madrano's going to probably make the team too.
So yeah,
Madrano's going to probably make it. So that's 3, right? Madrano. So that's 4 right there.
That's 4 right there.
They drafted Madrano. Yeah, I think Riley's. I don't know if Riley makes a team. I would say no. What they paid for Miami? He was good in Miami. I think they could draft. Arguably, I think they can draft Riley. And they can keep Riley and put Madrano in practice squad. I think he can make. I think no one will snatch him up on practice squad if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Or they can cover carry 5. That's fine. Oh yeah, they were teammates in college. Yeah, I could see. Cahill look good though. He look good. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, which player do you hurt themselves? Which players like the most? Let's be like, who hurt themselves? We know our name players who hurt themselves. Who hurt themselves the most? Let's go that route.
Who hurt themselves the most? Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, Chris Moore hurt himself the most.
Okay.
Not that there was much chance of him making it.
He ain't making the team. Him and Gallup are making the team.
I was frustrated because it's like it's. I know. Because we've already talked about it. It's like we talked about how bad a game Hartman had, but if he makes that catch and gets a touchdown, then maybe he ends up with a much better day, and maybe Washington ends up looking a lot better than what they did. That was really bad. Matt Gay was almost on that list, but he made that second field goal. Thank goodness. But I'm less than thrilled with that situation.
Paul text. I know Paul chat. He hit me on X, and it was like, yeah, we need a new kicker kind of thing. I agree. I think that he's too inconsistent, too erratic for me.
That first field goal was never anywhere near going in.
Yeah, that's the thing to me. You're too erratic. I'm not sure. Not sure. You can't trust him.
It's absolutely right.
Yeah, you can't trust him. I just feel like Jordan. Oh no, Jordan look good. Todd, you tripping? You ain't like Jordan? Jordan look good. Jordan McGee. Oh, Ben, Luke, Sam. Oh, Jordan had like 5 tackles in a row. He had a point where he had like 5 tackles in a row.
I don't think John Baptiste played, Timothy.
He played today.
He played. Oh, he did?
He played. He barely. He was like quick though. He was in and out.
I didn't notice him. That's not good.
Yeah. Can't trust Valor.
The worst part? The worst part about the whole Matt Gay bit is not just the fact that he's got the highest guaranteed for a kicker ever, and now every time I watch another team's kicker hit a long field goal, I'm triggered.
He had the highest guaranteed ever.
I am completely and utterly triggered. Like that dadgum guy for the Cowboys hit a 64-yarder last night. Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah,
we can't find one decent kicker.
I like this. Yeah, I can see that. I like this. You want Riley? How about Michael? What about Riley though? So you would cut Riley? Because Riley's a linebacker. Yeah, Riley's a linebacker. You would cut Riley?
No, he's got a good idea, Michael.
I like it. But yeah, my biggest concern, who hurt themselves the most, because I feel like when the most means you really like put it in the eye of you can get cut. I mean, I think Chris Moore's gonna get cut. I don't think that's even a thing.
Yeah.
But Osborne to me kind of who hurt themselves the most. I would say because of Yankoff, I would say Senate, because when you look at Senate and he didn't do anything, and then you go and look what Yankoff did on that one play, you're like, ooh. You're like, ooh.
That's why that kind of play is why we drafted Senate.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we expect out of him.
And Yankoff did it. You're like,
Yankoff, you don't expect that.
Yeah, you're like, ooh.
Because he was moving. I mean, he bounced off that guy, and then he kind of got up ahead of Steve.
He had a gear.
And for like 1 second, I thought he was going to take it to the house.
Yeah. I was like, ooh. Again, because of politics, I do kind of believe the Senate is fine. But if I would say Senate hurt himself the most, because when you look at it, it's like you look at one player and then people, and they even said it, you're in competition. He's in competition with Yankoff. They said it. And I was like, and he made that play like, ooh. Hold on. Kenny. Yeah, definitely Hartman. I mean, you know what? You're right. Hartman did hurt himself the most. That's fair. It's Hartman. What am I tripping off? You're right. I don't know what Ben's issue is, because I think Ben is a way better player than this. I don't know what his issue is. I really don't. He may be overthinking football right now. I just do not know what his issue is. Michael, he is a vet. Yes, but teams need you. Talent that shows something. Brooke over Luke. Yankoff over Ben Sinnott is legit. Legit a fullback tight end. He's good block. Yeah, that's true. This is all true. That's what I'm like. I don't know. It's tough, right? It's tough.
Well, that's what. I mean, that's why I'm kind of frustrated. We have to wait all the way till Tuesday to roster cuts, because I really want to see what happens with this, and I want to see who we pick off of other teams, because I think that's going to be a big thing. Is who do we pick up off of teams that cut players? Because I think that's definitely going to happen as well. There might be several.
Yeah. Which player? All right. So who do you feel? Which bubble player do you feel like stamped their ticket to stay on this squad?
Oh man, that is a good one. It's like we were talking about Ja'Cory Brooks. I mean, he made a few plays today, and I mean, when you look at the situation at wide receiver, and you look at the whole body of work, which is, it takes in the mini camps and all that. I mean, he's been one of the guys that is kind of come out of nowhere and really showed you that he's got something to offer. So I'd like to say him, but I don't know but like you say, the politics of it, I don't know if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I like this one, Todd. I think Tyler Owens kind of saved this.
Yeah,
saved it from all the talks that like the reporters came out and talked about on our show about Tyler Owens and said he needs this. I thought it was a good showing for him. I thought it was a good showing for him. From what y'all said, Tyler. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I think for real, in my opinion, I think Jordan McGee kind of clinched this spot. Only reason, because I felt like
the injuries,
injuries, and you're not available, and then you come out, and then all you kept hearing was like Chick Hernandez continually calling his name. That let you know that he was in every tackle, running sideline to sideline. I thought he Colin. Who's Colin? Oh, Colin Farrell. Yeah. But he played late though. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. He's scary. I don't know if he clinched his spot because he played at the exact end of preseason, which says a lot. I'm not sure if he's safe. He went from a starter to playing at the end of a preseason game. I don't know if that's clinching.
Yeah,
Glenn, I don't know.
It's a good question.
I don't know. Because he's in the fourth quarter still playing. I don't know if that's clinching. I ain't gonna lie to you. Paul said, felt the pressure from the great from the great season last year has gotten to some of these second year players. Probably. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's absolutely something to be that's absolutely something to be considered here is that they feel like it's going to be much harder to make the team.
Yeah,
And I think that's probably
that's a good point.
right.
That's a very good point, Paul. Todd said, "Did Sheldon D Day make it in your opinion?" I think so.
I would hope so.
I think so.
Again, behind the main guys, we need. I mean, nobody's really exploded. I mean, Jerzon Newton's had some good moments. I would think that Sheldon Day is at least the fourth defensive tackle or the fifth guy, and we're probably going to keep five of them. So
they want big bodies. That's the thing. They want big bodies on the inside. So I think he fits what they want. But I don't think he'll make the team. But it's not. I mean, it's nothing special coming out, and I don't think there will be anybody special coming out in terms of being cut at D tackle. To be real with you, so I think it's pretty much what it is. Michael said, Colin looked bad. Newton didn't help him. So I didn't think Jerzon looked good either. He was out there long too. I didn't see. That's the thing. Again, I'm gonna be real with you. I was so impressed with them in the first game, right? But again, if you're playing again, if I look at you as a guy who's supposed to be one of them, right? And I'm being real, like one of them, and you're not giving second unit folks or third unit folks the work, I don't know what like that. That's concerning. It is. It's very concerning.
And the Ravens just cram the ball down our throat to start the game.
It's concerning. You know what I'm saying?
And granted, to be fair, given the Ravens' history of injuries, there will come a time where that Ali that was having such a good run,
he's gonna go world.
He'll be in their lineup as a starter at some point because there ain't a year where the Ravens don't have two or three running backs get hurt.
They deep though, George. I mean, because I do it. They're like three. He may not. I think he'll be on another team. He won't even make they have another guy. They got another guy over him. That's good. They got Mitchell. They got Hill. They got as Mitchell. You got Mitchell, Hill alone, and obviously you got what's his name? You got Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. But but they had so many running backs get hurt.
Yeah, but it
feels like
he won't even because the type of back he is, he has the type of back they'll need for him to play as a third down back. He ain't a third down back.
Well, if they ain't gonna sneak him through on the practice squad, he'll get picked up. You're right about that.
They'll get picked up. I can see him. I mean, they may carry, I think 4 or 5 from what I've heard. They may, but they're stacked though. They got another dude. I forgot that's even ahead of. They got guys, man. The Ravens got some backs. They got some backs, bro. I won't even lie to you. I was doing the show with Carita. I was like, yeah, they got. And watching them preseason, I was like, they got some.
But again, they've been a well-run organization, and it's like that. You see that. That's why they take the preseason seriously, which I admire. But you see that in these preseason games that when you draft well and you consistently draft well, you build that depth. And we're gonna, and I believe with Adam Peters, we're gonna get there eventually.
Oh yeah,
but it's gonna take some time to do that. Yeah, and you got to tip your cap to the Ravens on that. Do you want to get into the kicker thing? Because I'm waiting to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, I am definitely going to. But I'm gonna hit like Glen says they won't. They're not cutting Newton. No one's saying they're gonna cut.
Oh no, they're not cutting Newton. But
just saying he hasn't been. Yeah, he just got to be better. Like that's just assessing the player. He has to do better. Yeah, I wasn't impressed by Newton, but this I agree. I'm not gonna lie to you. Other than the one game. And he was we just need him to be a little bit better. That's all. Guys, you want a masterclass on how to catch a football, catch a team who gives a darn about preseason wins or loses. Really, this is the best case scenario. Could you put some boys in some tough spots? I agree.
No, I agree. And Joe, that's why it's a good thing that we play the Ravens every year. That's absolutely right. And there have been years where we've been up to the challenge, which has been good, and today it wasn't as good. It's a different situation. It's a different it's a different regime and all that. But that's why it's a good thing to play the Ravens every year because of just what you said.
Yes, but so you want to ask me? You want to ask me about the kicker?
No, because you said you wanted to say some stuff about the kicker.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear this. Bad. So I mean, they need to bring another kicker in to really compete. They don't really have competition at the kicker spot. They never do this. This is what annoys me. And people get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like the one time you brought competition in with Cyber and whoever to see who's gonna get the job, and you see how good he kicked for them in the regular season until he got hurt. Bring in competition, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Bring in competition, like because you can't trust him. It's. I would say, to be honest with you, Rodriguez is more trustworthy than him. The kicker they had last year.
Jose Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. I apologize. Zane Gonzalez is more trustworthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like, or just compete. He can't just get the position, man. Like they need to go into, and thanks, Todd. Appreciate you. I'm about to reach. I'm gonna reach your chat. They need to go into a situation. They need to go into see who's going to get cut, and bring in somebody to compete with them, because you can't go into a season knowing like a fit. And now, because nowadays in this new era of the NFL of kickers, they making 50s look like, and 50-yard kicks aren't easy. So I don't want to put it out there like it's easy. So you can miss a 50-yard kick. But a lot of these dudes are making 50-yard kicks look like the old 40-yard kicks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool. I'm not saying you gotta make every kick, but like don't look like it's gonna be missed off the rip. Like I need to know that you have an opportunity to make a kick. Like when you shank it, I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like I don't trust you. Like as a fan, I'm sure like as others, like you know, other kickers would say, "Oh, that's fluke. Don't worry about it. He's gonna be fine." But as a fan, I hate when kickers, like I know it's no good off the rip. Unless it's like a 60-yarder, I don't need that type of look. You know what I mean? Period. You know what I mean? Like you should be worried. You're like, because of where Matt Gay is as a kicker, accuracy. It should be about accuracy for you, bro. Like you shouldn't like your legs should be strong enough to kick a 50 without you worried about power. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it with Matt Gay. Todd says, who's your starting five on the offensive line right now, and what's the date they have to make a decision on Cosme? Oh, that's a good question. I like this one. Timothy's.
They could put two people on the IR and bring them back.
Basically, this is what Timothy has is my offensive line.
Yeah, I mean,
much. That's my offensive line.
But you know my thought on Cosme that he shouldn't play at all this year.
Yeah, but he's going.
And I know he's recovering faster, but I think you're looking at the middle of the season at the earliest, and even then, that's just to regularly practice and do all that. Then you got to kind of get him to warm up into have his own kind of preseason before he can get in there. I mean, I'm going to presume that Cosme starts the year on IR. That's my presumption.
He's gonna be Go ahead.
And I like that starting line. And I gotta say, I didn't think I would be okay with seeing Andrew Wiley's name listed as a starting lineman, but he's had a good camp, and he's looked really good when he's been in there. So okay, and I think what we're going to find is, the Connerly thing is interesting that Timothy brings up. How often do we think John Bates might be lined up next to Connerly to help him?
A lot,
because he's such a good blocker.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, Bates is good. He's really, really good at blocking. I would say to this, Paul, like again, it's hard to be a consistent 50. Like, yeah, and on. I agree, Glenn. It's hard. Like 50-yard kicks aren't easy, so I'm not gonna say you got to be consistently knocking those down. But I just need you to be close. That's all I care about. I need you to be close. You can't be shanking any kicks. As a veteran kicker, like you can't be shanking any kicks. I'm over that. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I am over that. Mike, there will be some kickers to bring in. Gay looks bad, like he shouldn't be on the team from what I've seen, from what we've seen. I agree. I don't think he just doesn't. And the thing about it is, to be honest with you, he's been consistent in terms of what you read about on reports or what these reporters are saying about him when they're not trying to like hold back. They're very consistent. Like what he's doing has been consistent. He's been like this in camp. So already, like, all right, to me, again, you can't trust him. It is what it is. You can't trust him, man. So
and Michael, that's a good point. Michael Ben-Chaka saying the kickoffs have been bad too. Yeah, the kickoffs have been.
They have been.
What the hell was that? Yeah. Especially that first week against the New England Patriots.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, the rookie starting at right tackle. Wiley will be on the inside. The rookie starting at right tackle. I think Wiley will be on the inside.
And again, Bates' ability as a blocker,
which is good,
gives them so much flexibility in terms of because they can line him up and have him chip and have him help. and that's going to be big, against this Giants all defensive line. It's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
That defensive line of theirs is no joke, and there might be some hairy moments for Jaden Daniels, with Connerly starting out there, but having Wiley over there and having Bates over there to help him, that could make all the difference.
Well, also when you have a mobile quarterback like Jaden, it makes life easier for you as a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
The way he runs is like different. I feel like he made Wiley better last year. And Wiley, we seen Wiley with a non-mobile quarterback. He made Brandon Coleman better. It's just it is when you got a quarterback like Jaden who's elusive. And then when you run that type of offense, it kind of takes some of the pressure off of your old lineman. It's not like Jaden holds the ball for a long time either. So it's like a little bit of everything that kind of helps out for the O-line when it comes to having a Jaden Daniels in the back there. You just want him in a situation where, is in terms of his all-around football growth, you want him in a situation where, he can, have a lot of time in the pocket and kind of like snipe some teams out. Because I just feel like he has that ability if he gets like that much time in the pocket. Joe said a great coach once said, if a game comes down to a three-point kick from long range, then you're already lost the battle. I'll say this. I know what you're going with it. Yeah, I think that's tough. So I know that's a lot of pressure. That's tough. But I just say like in terms of evolution, you know what I mean? Like these kickers are different.
Yeah,
you got these kickers are different nowadays, man. But
not when you're watching when you're watching random guys hitting like 55 and 60 and even 70 yards.
True, but like to this point though, like you still have to be consistent. They can hit the 70, but they can consistently make the 50-yard kick. You know what I mean? That's where I look at. You know what I mean? Like it's cool that you making 50 and 70, but like, all right, you made a 70, but can you make? Or what's the dude that we had from Virginia Tech? Yeah, he was the kicker from Virginia Tech who had a big leg.
Oh, Joey Sly. Yes.
Joey Sly can make a 60. He can make a 60.
Yeah.
But he wasn't always consistent.
Short kicks that was always his
exactly. So you know what I mean? Like it's cool you can make it, but you got to be consistent. So I've always said this: if you can make the 45, the 40, the 40, the 45 and below kicks consistently, I can live with you being a little bit erratic from 50, because I know that like if we get you, which is more 9 times out of 10, we're going to get you in that 45 and below range for a game winner. Like Justin Tucker really messed up. I know folks don't want to talk, I don't like talking about it for like being canceled or whatever. But Justin Tucker really messed the church's money up by how good he was from 50 and how accurate he was from 50.
It's true.
Seriously, like that wasn't a thing. That wasn't a thing. Like to be that accurate from 50. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, that was not a thing. Because even like as great as Adam Vinatieri was, like that wasn't a like him at 50. Yeah, he made a lot of clutch kicks, but that wasn't guaranteed. It was up there, but it wasn't guaranteed. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So that's where I'm at. Like, but yeah, Paul. This is, pass pro. I guess thing is, pass pro wasn't any issue last year. It wasn't. Yeah, because there was mobile quarterback. Jay makes life easy, man. Just to be real.
Yeah.
O-line for sure is much better. It's a much better unit. Most depth on the team. It's
yeah.
They would say I know the coaching staff would say safety, but that's a whole different discussion. They would say safety. I wouldn't say safety. They like their safeties a lot. Pass sorry about triple option with the can see that definitely. What's going on, Ray Jeezy? We said it don't matter about the kicker in my opinion because the Commanders are really good on 4th down. Yeah, but you want to always rely on 4th down.
Yeah, I mean, even though they were historically good at it last year,
you don't want to go rely on that, dog.
You don't want to.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to rely on that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Ray who had a very interesting some tweets about the HBCUs. I liked his tweets ranking the HBCUs coming in this season.
Awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
Looking forward to that game tonight, by the way.
Yes, definitely.
Down in Atlanta. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Tucker was epic, man. I'm serious.
God,
that's what I'm saying. Like, look, man, we've been like football fans. Football fans have been something different, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, because before Tucker, you didn't see kickers make 50-plusers like that as regularly as that, and that changed it.
What you mean RN? What RN? Am I tripping? What's RN stand for?
What am I says right now.
Oh, right now stands for right. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's what he means.
I ain't with these kids, man. I don't know what that. I don't need too many acronyms in life, man. I'm doing acronyms, dog. RN, LOL, SMH. You know what I mean? What are we doing here, dog? Don't be sending me no. Don't be sending no acronyms in the chat. What am I supposed to do, man? What are we doing here? Yeah, for 10 games. Is he for 10? Is the first 10 games he's suspended for? Yeah. Oh, hey, go ahead with don't say the white. Hey, I ain't going to read that. Hey, yeah, Tucker Vin. I won't try to spell. Yeah, Venturi. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, as much as, but not. But
and Gostkowski, he was another one. He was making.
But Tucker
missed for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but Tucker was kicking like 60, like 59, and was easy.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's different. Like, he really, yeah, he's different. He was different. So, we got Glen in the building. Okay, Glen's trying to come on at the end. Glen trying to get like 2 minutes of screen time. All right, Glen, get your 2 minutes of screen time.
Hey, dog, hey, I just had come in. I know you had to figure out what GLC Solutions was. That's my business account, man. But anyway, oh man, but the kicker though. I think the kicker thing is really. I think as fans look at the kicker, we're nervous, right? Yes. Because look how many close games we won last year, right? Matter of fact, we won a game because of a kicker last year, right? The Giant game, right? Yeah. Right? So when you don't have an inconsistent kicker in the past of being a Washington fan, you're holding your breath because we didn't really blow people out. Like last year, every point made a difference. So you want to be able to make sure automatic. When you talked, I saw some names in the chat, Adam Vinatieri, and guys like that, right? God, I wasn't cooking, man. I was doing some work, man. But you got guys like Adam Vinatieri and even Wu down in Atlanta. When you talk about some of those guys are consistent.
Young Wei-Koo, yeah,
right. Those guys are consistent. So Atlanta, when he lines up a field goal, they're not worried. Right? When Baltimore, Justin Tucker, up until last year, you know, when he was getting massaged, and up until last year, Justin Tucker was because the Ravens didn't have to worry. They knew
he's worried about life. That's
why they didn't worry about life. But when you're Dan Quinn, or you're Cliff Kingsbury, man, right now you should be scared. You making you go on forward on fourth down is a question right now, right? I mean, there was 20 out of 23 last year on fourth down. But if you got a kicker that consistent to your point, Wole, you trust that kicker that you trust and consistent, you kick those field goals.
And also,
the
other teams defend you differently. The other teams are going to defend you differently if they know your kickers are kind of questionable. They can take more chances because they're going to be like, if we keep them to the 30 or the 35, and then they feel like they have to go for it in a bad situation, that's to our advantage.
Yeah, but you saw it going using because I saw him a lot because due to the market in the region, you saw how defenses played the Ravens offense because of Justin Tucker. So with George on the flip side, you saw how it helps your offense, and on what George is saying, you see how it hurts your offense because defenses are more, to George's point. Defenses are like, man, your kicker. They don't trust your kicker, so they're more. They're more aggressive. They're like, all right, we can do this at this particular point in time because we know he can't make this type of kick. Now, on the flip side, how defensive, especially on game-winning drives, how defenses played Tucker. I mean, the Ravens and Tucker, they tried to beg for them not to get to at least to the 40-yard line, or even close to midfield because they were scared. They were scared from around midfield. You know what I mean? Like to a point where, all right, we gotta sell out. So we can get them from, they can't get any more yardage, like that type of stuff. So it works either which way. So, but yeah, if you went to Glen's point, fans should be scared, man. Not they feeling scared. They should be scared. You got to do that. From all reports, and it's not just preseason. From all reports that this has been him. Like this has been him. He's done this in camp. and he's done it in preseason. So now for fans, the thing that's creeping fans out is that what they heard in camp from some reporters, are they starting to see it in the preseason games. So now it's like, oh, he's got to be, no, he's definitely bad. It's not from he ain't showing them this in camp. It's like, oh, he's been doing this throughout.
So would you be mad if his name was on that list on Tuesday?
Can't be on the list. You don't got an option. You gotta have an option.
But they bring options in, man. It's just.
But they gotta work it. But they gotta be competition. I need competition. You just can't bring somebody in and say, like, it goes to my point. It's gotta be competition. You gotta bring some. Yeah. He gotta be on this roster and somebody I compete to beat him out. So they gotta. It's gotta be competition. No one should be handed this position. That's why I didn't like with Gay. Like they handed him the position when they brought Cyber in. It was a kicking competition of much during in the beginning of the season. I mean, during the season, and that's what he won the position out of it between somebody else. And so we saw him, and what did we see with him? He looked good before he got hurt. Bring in competition so people know pressure. Like you got to know pressure so you combat pressure in the regular season. And
I think they're gonna bring some in. Tim said this, and I know hey, other rosters, some kickers are gonna get cut. I don't know why they didn't bring Cyber back in, man. Take the guy that last year, I forgot his name.
Zane Gonzalez, we talked about it.
Yeah, Gonzalez, and the dude before that who we took the PR hit on and let him go. This airplane.
He's on another team. He's on another team already.
I know he's on Indiana, right?
Yeah, he's kicking good. He's kicking good.
I know. Hey, sometimes you take the PR hit, man, for the better kicker, dog. I'm sorry. At this organization, you take the PR hit. If you're the best player and it's something that you did before you came to my organization, guess what? That was look, we're gonna take the PR hit for that. Because it'll win you football games.
Ray, we don't need you. Look, Ray got jokes in chats. Ray, get your joking butt out of here, man.
Look, Ray, I don't live in the mountains, man. It's not the mountains.
Ray, get your joking butt out of here, bro.
George know my community. He's from down in this area.
Yeah, that's get your joking butt out of here, bro. Let's see. Not like. Oh, you already read this one about Timothy. You already read that one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. All in all, man. Like this the 30-3 outcome doesn't bother me. I had friends texting me. They're like, oh yeah, they don't like this, that, and the other. I'll tell you what actually I'll ask you this question. Does these preseason games concern you about Joe Witt Jr.? Because I didn't at all like does it matter? Like because my friends text me this. It's not like I'm not using my opinion or whatever because I don't really care about I don't want this game doesn't, to me, in my opinion, isn't a representation of Joe Witt Jr. to me. This game, to me personally, but does it concern you going to the season with what you saw, what you saw over the last 3 games, and him as defensive coordinator? I'll start with you, Glenn. I'm starting with you, Glenn.
Yes, because the running game teams were still picking up in chunks. I don't care if it was New England. Okay. I don't care if it was Cincinnati. I didn't care if it was today with the Baltimore Ravens, right? It took them a while to settle down. If that makes sense. It took them a while to be able to stop the run. And so this defense doesn't have an opportunity or shouldn't have an opportunity to give up 4.5, 5 yards, 6, 7 yards a carry to guys, right? You wasn't playing. I know you playing backups today, but go back to the New England game. They were bad, right? Since the New England game was bad, Cincinnati game it was a little bit better, right? But Cincinnati really don't have that type of running back, right? They're a passing offense. So to me, I am a little concerned with Joe Witt. I'm a little concerned. The question I have now is it Joe Witt or is it guys that are playing? Is it his scheme or is it the guys not executing the play? And I coach D-line, and so they're. To me, a lot of times, D linemen, the ones I got, so don't execute what your scheme is, right? And so there's a thing there. So I'm looking to see now when you bring the starters in, when you got the Deron, the Johnny Newtons, you got everybody that's supposed to be your guy, and we can't stop the run week 1 because the run is we're gonna be tested week 1 with the run. Let's be honest, right? All right, and we can't do it week 1, then we're in trouble, and Joe Witt should be on fire watch.
What about you, George? Same question.
Yeah, I'm concerned because I go back to what you said before the very first preseason game, Wole, because it's just been in my mind watching these games. Do the basics well, tackle, do those kinds of things. Don't commit penalties. And yes, a lot of the guys that are doing that are guys that are not going to be here in 2 weeks' time playing against the Giants. But that's not the point, because that's something that goes throughout the whole team. And there were these issues last year. And I'll tell you, if we're sitting here in 2 weeks and Washington's won, but the Giants have run for like 150 yards because they got Tyrone Tracy's good running back, and Scadaboo's shown something. Took him a while because he had injuries. He's played well, but he played well in his preseason last night. If we're sitting here and Washington has just scraped through against the Giants and they've run the football on us, then I think then it's a problem, because it's only going to get tougher from there. Josh Jacobs is week 2. 2 games with the Eagles and Saquon Barkley. Some of these other guys that we've been talking about that we're going to be going up against that have got really good running backs. So, week 1 could change my mind on it, but today, right now, this is I'm not thrilled, because I just want to see I want to see what you said. I want to see the basics done well, and that's been a problem.
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned from this outing. I have my concerns about him just in general. I'm not going. I've said that already. I don't need to go in detail with it, but I will say this though: when it comes to this defense, they're going to, and with something that you said, Glenn, because they said this, and this is what I've been hearing from them. They have the guys in the play. They have the guys they want to make his defense better. That was the reason from last year. They said that was their reasoning. So to me, if we don't produce with these guys, I don't want to hear. I'm gonna just be real. I don't want to hear that he doesn't have guys, because from what I've heard, he has the guys he wants. That's what I've heard. That's been the argument. They said that he didn't have his guys. They said this roster, these guys are better. He's better. He's definitely better at corner. I believe that. I totally believe that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hit secondary. They're happier. They claim they're happier at secondary. I mean, in the safety spot. I've heard Dan Quinn say I'm excited about our safeties. You know what I mean? So, and the D line, they said they got the guys they want. They got run stuffing dudes. They got their bigger up the middle. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, there is no more excuses. Not because I believe the talent is that much better, Glenn. I'm gonna be real. It's not because I believe it. It's because what you tell me. You're telling me that they're better. You're telling me it's a better fit. So if it doesn't come out to fruition, if say this defense is a tick better, that's still not good enough for me. Because a tick better from what you telling me and what you're supposed to be as a defensive coordinator, you're supposed to be all world. So that's all I'm saying. So if we're talking about the play, I'm not going in this situation. There's other situations I'll say he don't got the dogs. I agree with you. But if you want to use that argument from last year, okay, we'll go with that argument because that's his year. He has his own preference, right? The guys that I may value and think are pretty good, he may not value like that, right? That's a fact. That's a thing. But you got your dudes now. You got your dogs. You just got this time to produce.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because again, you're not saying you're coming out personally and saying this though. The whole organization is saying it. You know what I mean? You're coming. It's not like the media or beat reporters are saying it. You're saying it. Your organization's saying it. So shoot, all right, you got your guys. If you don't produce, that's on you. It ain't on them. Because that's 2 years of again, don't want to knock it because let's look at it this way. Against the pass, they were pretty decent against the pass in ranking. So you're better. You should be better you should be better compared to you were last year because of the talent you have on the outside. So I'm just so that's my thing. As a defensive coordinator, I think I'm gonna say he has his guys because he has his preference. So he has his guys. So if they don't produce, that's on him. Joe said something, and I do agree with Joe. Taj doesn't like do-rag John Allen, so I already know. But I agree with Joe. He said shouldn't have got rid of John Allen. Looks like we might have a problem getting to the quarterback, and the secondary is suspect. So we're going to need to put up 28 points a game to win. No, I think the secondary is better. I think the secondary is okay. I think secondary is better.
It was time for Allen to go. It was.
I think it was time for him to go, though. I think it was time for him to go.
Give him credit for coming back from that injury and producing what he did at the end of the season last year. Give him credit for that, because that was the one reason I kind of thought he might be back, is that Dan Quinn called Jonathan Allen out in a positive way, saying, well, "Look at what this guy did," and he had some plays in that drive at the end of the year and in the postseason. But no, at the price that he was going to be at, no, we were not going to bring Jonathan Allen back. Well, it's the same thing with Ron Payne.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible at any kind of a price that we're going to bring him back.
Yeah,
and what we got to hope is that he's going to produce enough that he's going to produce, but it's going to be for somebody else next year. But he's going to show something so that he can get a big contract from somebody else.
But you're happy with? I guess my question.
I'm with you about the secondary. I would say, and I know it's probably a little bit mean to say it. Part of the reason we were so good against our numbers were so good against the pass is that it was easier to run on us.
Yes, I agree. It's a fact.
And so that was part of it for me. But that said, I do think the secondary's gotten a lot better. But we've made a lot of additions to try and stop what happened to us in the championship game last year in terms of running. And right now, it doesn't look like we made a lot of progress on that. We're going to find out against the Giants, because again, the Giants can run the football, baby. They're not going to be messing around here. They are going to run it a lot in 2 Sundays from now.
I agree with Timothy. This is the thing with about the D line about that. I think it's about the Jonathan Allen. I think that in terms of, I think the environment wasn't conducive to Jonathan Allen anymore. Not because of that, just by at the end of the day, people don't want to believe it, but it's the truth. The environment of it, and I'm not talking about Washington as the organization, the environment of the fans and an approval rating type of thing, right? If folks don't like you and they start to kind of hate on you as a fan, as a fan base, and you're not one of the favorites anymore, that does play a part in the decision making to a certain extent.
Just like Durag Allen.
Yeah, they don't say it does to a certain extent. I said the same thing about it's the same thing I used to talk about when Bashard Breeland when he was here. When they started to really say, oh, he ain't that good, that got him out of town. Same thing with Carlos Rogers. That got him out of town. So I just feel like when you hear and these players hear all of it, and especially nowadays in social media, they hear everything. So he needed a separation from this place. But that's more again, this place isn't good for you because of where your relationship is within this fan base and just within the fan base, to be honest with you. Because I would say you're saying they pay Kinlaw a boatload of money.
Yeah.
Is he deserving of that boatload of money? I don't know.
We'll find out this year.
Yeah, we'll find out. But I mean, in terms of body of work, is he worth that money? Body of work.
No. Exactly.
So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And John Allen's an all-pro. So that's what I'm saying. So it depends. So the money doesn't bother. I don't get into the money element of it. But again, how I look at the situation is, forget John Allen, Kinlaw. The preference of Joe Witt Jr., in my opinion, is a player like Kinlaw. Fine, because for your system, and that's perfectly fine. But if we're not dominating against the run, then what? Then that means that's on you. That's something you have to do in your system. You have to work your system because again, you have the pieces. You paid a lot of money to bring Kinlaw into Washington, and he played well in the preseason game. To a lot of people,
hometown boy, man.
Yeah, hometown boy. You're gonna root for him, but again, that he's gonna have to be a real disruptor. This is the thing. He can't just be a guy.
No, he can't be. He has to be a name.
That's what it is.
Because you and I hate to say it, and you're losing a name, right?
There you go. You can't be a guy.
You can't be a guy because you're losing a name. You're losing
for that contract. You can't just be a guy. For that contract, you just can't be a guy.
Yeah, because we don't want you to be like Daron Payne, right? We're getting rid
real talk.
We're getting rid of 2 guys, but we need to get a guy. So
yeah, that's real talk. You just can't be a guy. Like you got to be more than you got to be a disruptor. You got to stop the run. You got to. There's a lot, man. You got to do a lot. And again, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Look here we go. We need the top 5. We need a top 15 defense this year, or Witt Jr. needs to top 15. I agree. It should be a top. I'm not saying you gotta be gone.
Want to drop said some interesting things in the chat, and that's one of them. So
he said some more.
Yeah, because he was also he's not sure about DQ either.
Oh,
which I disagree with him there because DQ. I mean, defense is his main thing, but he's showing, and maybe this is something he's improved upon from what happened in Atlanta, that he's a really good he's a lot better at the coach CEO thing than he was before.
Yeah.
But I do think there's something to what Iguana Drop is saying about this team needing to be a top half defense, or maybe it is time for a change.
I don't know if it'd be a change, because I think it's like it's year 2. It's not like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm talking about with Witt, not with DQ.
No, I'm talking about Witt. I'm talking about Witt.
Yeah.
I'm even talking about Witt. I think it's too
okay
because he's a rookie as a coordinator in year 1. This is year 2. Yeah, we'll see. Now I think this year you get the real assessment of who he is as a play caller for real. Like just like you're dealing with a young football player. The rookie year, okay, it's a rookie year. Year 2, you get a good glimpse of who they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta learn from you gotta learn from year 1. What's gonna be your biggest strengths? We'll get to know what his true identity is in year 2. I think it's the fairest way to assess him fairly. Keith said, and this is me saying it as a guy who's got questions about Joe Witt Jr. But I'm fair enough to say, like, the fair thing is to see, all right, we'll get to know his true identity in year 2. Hey guys, I know it's new. I know it's a new day and all, but do you wish our starters play in the last preseason game so their bodies can be ready and not have a slow start to the season? Hey George, I'll let you handle this because you know this has been.
I was going to say because Keith, you've hit on one of my real bugaboos here, one of my hobby horses.
Mm-hmm.
The answer to that is if they had played more in the first 2 games, no. But when they play as little as they did in the first 2 games, yeah, I would not have mind seeing starters for a series or 2 because, look, Keith, and you pointed out to it, there's been a lot of slow starts around here. I've talked about it in other shows about their records in the opening games. You know, it's under 500 since Joe Gibbs retired the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a lot of preseasons, even before I was had the privilege of doing this show, where I would get on Facebook Live and talk with other Commanders fans and say, yeah, I think we've kind of wasted this preseason again. This team doesn't look ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I do wish if we had decided not to play, if you don't want to play guys in the first preseason game, fine. But the second and third games are there and you only got 3 of them and yes, there's always the worries about the injuries. But as I've said on other shows, look at the list of players that got hurt in camp before one snap was ever done in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have injuries. You have to get hit. You have to get tackled. Your body's got to get used to that. You've got to have some wear and tear put on you so that when the real wear and tear starts to come, you're ready for it. So, yeah, Keith, I'm in complete agreement with you. If we were not going to play starters in week 1, we should have played them more in week 2 and at least a little bit in week 3. My preference would be play week 1, play week 2, and then sit week 3. That would be my preference. But, of course, my other preference would be that we have 4 preseason games and only 16 regular season.
Oh, yeah, I know your preference.
That's a whole other argument.
I know your preference.
But I'm going to disagree with you, George, and especially with this, this year, right? And the reason I disagree is this. Don't need to play week 1 because you played that team all week in camp. Your starters played against the New England Patriots, right? You matched up. I don't need to see them in a game on TV because I saw what they did all week long when we had one versus ones. So I don't need to see that. Now, I do agree with you on this part. Your body does need some hits
from callus,
but at the same time, your body only has so many hits, right? It's so
also true,
right? So you don't want to waste those hits in meaningless football games, right? So you want to. If my guy's gonna go down, I'd rather him go down. And reason being, we in high school, we got red jerseys on quarterbacks and a runner, and don't touch that dude because that dude makes the engine go, right? Mm-hmm. So there's certain dudes that make your engine go, make your team go. All right, you can't afford a Jaden. We saw quarterbacks. You can't afford Jaden Daniels getting stepped on by offensive linemen going down, right? You can't afford a Deebo Samuel or Zach Ertz at this point, right, to go down because you don't know what you have behind them. So to that point, should Jaden have played another the second game against Cincinnati? Should he have played another series? Sure. I think he gave him another series, at least throw a couple passes, right? He hasn't thrown a pass in preseason. All right. But we also saw, if you was a Cincinnati fan, you held your breath when Joe Burrow was running for his life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
but Joe Burrow's got to be more sensible. Throw the damn ball away, Joe.
He was just being dumb. Joe Burrow was being dumb.
Yeah, he was just being dumb. So give a take there. So you have to be able to do that. So to me, you know what your starters have. You know what you have in your starters. Let the young guys give the young guys opportunity, because when you play your starters, you're taking away from the younger guys who are trying to make a team roster in the NFL. Yeah. And so everybody looks at their starters, but there's other guys that need to make they're trying to make a roster spot. So that's just
I feel like it's complicated. I wouldn't want him to play in the last. I mean, it's so different now because usually the third game was the dress rehearsal game. The third game now is the last game. Where the last game, all the dudes who aren't going to make, who are trying to make the team, you want to give them that last game. So I'm a big believer in giving the third the last preseason game the opportunity for the guys who are trying to make the team, that they give them that game. That's their game. I'll give them that game. The first game I would like them to play more. I like the first two games. I think teams should just play the first two games, period. I'm a big believer in that. I think that you need to treat the second game like the dress rehearsal game. The first game, a quarterback should get a quarter, and then the second game they should get a half. I would be okay with Washington doing it that way. But for each his own. For each his own. Because I do if you want to start fast. I do like what the Bengals are doing. To be honest with you, with their offense, they're screw it, we're playing. We're trying.
Well, they're sick of there's a reason for that because they've been losing these opening games.
Yeah. So they stick a start, and they're in a division where they can't afford to start slow because they're in the division with the Steelers, the Ravens themselves. Even not about this year, but the Browns play a harder level of football. They're not they're not a cupcake. They're a tough team. They may not be a great team, but they're a tough team. So they have to start fast. That's the goal. You know what I mean? And then being in the NFC, in the AFC, where you have good quarterback play everywhere in the AFC, even when they go out of conference in the AFC, out of division in the AFC, they got a tough game. So I get it. I get why, to your point, George, I get why they went with that format. Why are y'all talking about Micah? Are you talking about Micah and Frankie? Is there some competition or something? What's happening here? Not you. Keith says, who's our third quarterback, because Sam gotta go, in my opinion. Oh, it's probably Josh Johnson. That ain't saying a lot though. Josh ain't looking good either though.
I'm starting to wonder if our third quarterback's on somebody else's roster.
Oh, definitely somebody else. Somebody definitely somebody else's
roster. I agree with you, George. It's on somebody else's roster.
It's definitely on somebody's roster. Let's be honest. It's definitely on somebody else's roster. It's not. Let's see what we got here. Joe says, this is why the running game is so important, the ground and pound. Do you guys remember our greatest running back in history, John Riggins? Yeah, it was great, man.
Oh. Hey, first of all, John Riggins wasn't a running back. That's the misconception. He was the fullback on that team.
Basically.
But again, the greatest running back on that team.
He was a fullback that started as a running back. He was a fullback, then got transitioned to a running back. Though.
Is he really the greatest running back in Washington Commanders history?
In big play, yeah, he would probably be. Because he did it in the biggest. You got to do it. See, that's the thing. You got to do it in the big moments.
Timmy Smith. I'm just joking.
Nah, that's disrespectful.
That's a struggle. But I'm just.
But you had a big moment. You did it in the I would say for me. Ray says Clinton Portis.
That's what I would say too. That's where I was going.
It's crazy because I wouldn't even. It's crazy. I would even go even. So I like Clinton Portis a lot. I think he was definitely to your point. But I would tell you, I'll be real. Even a short body of work, the dude I like the most out of everybody that I've seen growing up, and I'm using my own eyes. I like Stephen Davis more than a lot of people. I did too. I like Stephen Davis. Stephen Davis was tough.
Yeah, but see, it's like pro wrestling, Wole.
Ricky Irvins ain't had no 1,000-yard year.
Hey, it's like pro wrestling. You can't get beat up and still have people respect you.
Yeah.
See, you can't be in wrestling and go to the bar and get beat up. You lose your job.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I mean, if you talking, but you gotta have the moment. If you talking about the moments,
And you got Larry. And the other thing is, and we're forgetting him, but Larry Brown.
Larry
Brown.
Yeah.
It was an NFL MVP. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Isn't unfortunately, like a lot of Redskins. like a lot of Redskins.
Who fumbled the bag
he
in
should be in the
bad
Hall of Fame.
moments?
Irvin's fumbled the bag.
Oh, he said, "Are you talking about Irvin? You talking about Stephen Davis?" Ray, I don't know who you're talking about. Stephen Davis was thorough, dog. I'm sorry, he was thorough. He carried that team.
Oh yeah, Stephen Davis was tough.
Play action. He made Brad Johnson life easy. He said Davis. Nah, Davis ain't fumbling no bag, bro. Oh, fumbled the bag. Oh, his money. Oh, the money. Yeah, he messed up his money. Fumbled the bag in bad moments. Oh, not moments, bro. Nah, Stephen Davis had he fumbled a couple of times, but it wasn't like he was never the reason we lost games. I know that much.
No.
Stephen Davis wasn't the reason we lost games. But I like CP. CP is different. I like C. Obviously, I'm gonna be a CD. I'm a CP dude too. So CP was like that. Like nobody was as tough as CP, man. That dude was like,
yeah, but I don't count AP because he didn't stay here long enough.
I know.
Yeah,
but he was that 1 year. He was special. He was special. He was special.
He was special. Yeah,
he was special for us though.
He was special.
He was the blessing we didn't think we needed, but we got. Like he was. Larry Sanders was good too, bro.
Yeah. It's a lot, man. So I just threw that out there when I see Riggins. I think Riggins is one of the best, but I always like to hear people. I like to hear the argument. I'm one of those guys. I would like to stir the pot on that question.
Love Larry Sanders though.
Larry Sanders is a good one. I like.
He's a good one.
Not adversarial. Just saying. Every other team, second and third stringers look better, more prepared than ours. That's coaching. All right, so I ain't gonna lie to you, which I kind of agree with. I said this, like, that was where I know you're coming from. I get it. I don't think you're trying to be. I get it. You're not trying to go against the grain. I know what you're saying. Because I do feel like that is coaching. Because I think people lean on depth more than, and they say like depth and this, that, and the other. But sometimes people get coached up really good. Sometimes people get coached up. And like Ray mentioned it, and he laughed. He laughed. We gotta let Greg Williams go. And I thought it was funny, but it's the truth. There's a fact about coaching people up. Greg Williams came here in DC. I'm gonna keep using him as a reference because that's when I experience and see people get. All right, I ain't gotta use. I don't even have to use Greg Williams. I can go to Minnesota. Look what Brian Flores did with their defense. Yeah, like for real. Brian Flores took over that defense and made that defense much better. And that talent, if you look at Minnesota, that talent on the defense ain't great. It ain't great.
They don't have one superstar anywhere.
Yes. So
now they do. They got Allen.
And he makes magic.
Yes.
Brian Flores.
Flores has
magic.
So that's coaching. So to your point, because when people always say depth and talent, I'm like, yeah, I get it. But there's some art. There are just like this in life. There are levels. There's levels. There's some dudes, and like in all sports, there's some dudes that can take a person here below you and raise them up here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's some dudes that if you're here, if their talent is here, as the player and you're the coach, all you gotta do is be a little bit here. And you can still get them to where they need to get to. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't, to me, like if you have a talented squad, all right, for instance, Sean McVay is a great coach. Sean McVay, but still, if you look at Sean McVay's team, the Rams, they had to stack his team to get him to a certain level, though.
Yeah, I think
he's a good coach. Don't get it wrong, he's a good coach, but they stacked his team. They didn't say win with less. Now, if you look at Bill Belichick, I can make the argument that Bill Belichick knows how to work, and Tom Brady knows how to work with less.
But again, I said this point last year, and I've always said it. Teams take on a persona of the head coach, right? Players play for the head coach. Yeah. And so when you take on that persona of that guy that you're coaching for, right? Everybody loves Dan Quinn, and nothing against Dan Quinn. Yeah. But you have to be able to the second and third group, you have to learn it. First of all, you got to know the system, right? You got to understand where you're supposed to be at, know what you need to do. If you don't understand it, you don't know where it's supposed to be at. You're not gonna play fast. And what we saw, sometimes we saw the Washington Commanders second team and third string not play fast, which made me think, do they understand the system?
I do want Michael, like, but I'm saying, like, before, but if you look at it before he got there, what was those dudes doing? Like before, what I'm saying, before Flores got there, what were those dudes doing? Like, again, it's the same. All right, same thing with I said with Greg Williams when he got here. Antonio Pierce was a freaking special teamer, barely played. Ryan Clark was cut from the. Ryan Clark was cut by who? No one looked at. Ryan Clark wasn't supposed to be no starting safety for Washington. He just, you know, he said, you know what? I'm gonna put you with safety. I can see it. And Pierce, I mean, you've been good at teams. I'm gonna put you a middle linebacker, not like just regular linebacker. He put him a middle linebacker, basically calling the plays. That's coaching. Like so I get your point. Like there's levels to it. There's some dudes that need talent to be successful as coaches, and a lot of them are. Don't get twisted. A lot of them are. You need a bunch of talent, and not talent. You need a bunch of talent to be a really good coach. That's a lot of teams. I'm not saying that, but there are some coaches that you don't need. You need talent, but they don't got to be the cream of the crop for them to still make their system work.
Well,
that's the difference.
Let's be honest though. I mean, we take a person like Frankie Luvu, right? Luvu down in Carolina and Luvu in New York Jets. He was a good player.
And right? Carolina's really good. He was good in Carolina.
He was a good player. But when he came here, he was an exceptional player last year. He was all pro. I mean, he's the number 70 on top 100. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't that in Carolina. He wasn't that in New York. But again, it comes back with coaching, but it's also the attitude of the player. I can't put that all on coaches, right? And maybe I'm talking as a coach. Someone that is someone that's what's in your chest, right? Someone that, because at this level, you're motivated by the millions of dollars that you get, and you're also motivated by the fact that it's your job. And you should be at the top. You should want to be at the top level of your job. You know what I'm saying? And you should be able to put the work in that you need to put in to get there. So yes, some of it falls on the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, but a lot of it falls on the player.
Well, to your point, all right, so I'm gonna tell you about Luvu. So this is the thing. The only thing, the reason Luvu was winning, they won in Washington. In Carolina, his second year in Carolina, the year before he came to Washington, Carolina had 125 tackles, 59 assists and tackles, 55.5 sacks, and in Washington had 8 sacks. So he took his sack number totals up, but he was still a good player in Carolina. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the difference is Carolina sucked and Washington won games. Like he's always so again, but they did use him differently. I agree with you, Glenn. They used him differently, but he was still a really good football player. Again, I'm not sure. We'll see where it's at. Is he a coach? Is he a teacher of like making you? Is he a teacher and taking your talent, this talent to another, taking it to a level, or is he a dude that? And I'm talking about is he a dude that just needs talent to be a good coordinator? And that's fine. Like these, I'm sorry, not talent. That's unfair. A high level of talent to be a good coordinator. Let me put it that way. That's the best way to say it. Some
people do, but also you got to look at it this way. And I think we put a lot on coordinator as a scheme, but because he's the head guy, right? He's the defensive dude. But you also got to put a lot of weight on these, and you saw it at camp last year with Daryl Tapp, right? You got to put it on these coaches, position coaches as well, right? Can the position coaches getting their guys together?
Oh, thanks, bro.
Meeting, getting themselves together, so when the team comes together, that they know their assignment, they know what they're seeing, they know what they do. Yeah. So again, it's a whole totality of the defensive coaching staff to make sure that Joe Witt looks good. And we don't know how much hands-on Joe Witt is or off Joe Witt is.
Yeah, that's the point too. You don't know what kind. Thanks for going to drop. I appreciate that. We appreciate that for real.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it just depends. Like Joe, I love Joe Gibbs. Everybody knows that. Same thing with Joe. I thought that Joe could point 1.0 didn't need but so much, and his staff didn't need but so much.
That's right, Joe. To lead one must be a leader, and Joe and Joe Witt sounds quiet to me. He don't seem like he's that.
And like Ray said, and like Todd said too. You know what I'm saying? Like I like this. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 type of coaches: a teacher, a play caller, and a motivator. I don't know what Witt is in all of it. You know, like where is he? I think he's more of a. Hey Nicole, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Nicole. I don't know if he's more. I don't know if I would say he's a motivator. If I had to use a description for Joe Witt from a distance, I would say he's more of a motivator.
Well, then if he's a motivator, the team shouldn't be coming out sluggish. Because guess what? When I'm a motivator coach, right?
Yeah.
When I'm a motivator coach, we're coming out guns, balls to the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'm coaching wrestling. That's when I'm coaching football, D-line. It is, and I tell my kids it's a performance-based business. Either you can play or your mama can watch you on the sideline on Friday night and see the back of your jersey all night because it's a performance-based business. And when we're making these millions of dollars, you have to perform, right? You have to get these guys to perform. And you don't have to really motivate them because they should already motivated to play. You're playing for millions. You're playing for money. You're playing for prestige. And especially this team, you said it earlier. These are your guys. This is what you said. You have your staff, right?
Yeah.
Most of these guys wanted to be in Washington. You ain't got to motivate Von Miller because he wanted to be here. I shouldn't have to have a motivational talk with Von Miller. You want to be here. I shouldn't have a motivational talk with Deron Payne. It's a contract year. I shouldn't have a motivational talk with Johnny Newton. You know why? Newton, last year you did okay, but guess what? You need to go ahead and move on. You see what I'm saying? So again, as a defensive coordinator, you saw like I can bring up Daryl Tapp again. Yo, he was cussing the D line out. Hey, blah 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 blah.
I love
right. This is your job.
He's a motivator.
He's a motivator.
He's a motivator.
Right. But you also as a motivator, you got to know your stuff too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
But when Joe Witt does his press conferences and he doesn't seem like he's the most. He seems like he knows his X's and O's. He knows his scheme. He knows where people are supposed to be at. But it doesn't seem like he'll put that foot in your butt when you need it.
I agree with this. Hey, Wole, you can motivate, but if you call bad plays, you're just a hype guy out of position. I mean,
true touch. You got to know the game. You got to know down and distance situation, and you got to know which players to play. As a defensive coordinator, you got to know down distance situation. You got to be able to know scheme. You got to be able to know film. It's like that Cam Newton video. I watch film too, right? You got to know what's what.
George Bray said, "Who the best DC in the NFC East?"
It's Vic Fangio. That's the guy in Philly. It's the guy in Philly.
Philly, and then who's the?
He's got more weapons than anybody else does too.
No. Who's the guy? Who's in New York? They got weapons though.
It's the old guy, ain't it? It's the old dude.
I don't know who replaced Martindale there.
It's not Martindale anymore. He left.
He left because Wink
they got rid of him.
No, Wink with us. Wink in Michigan, I think. It's Wink in Michigan.
Yeah, I think
I'm about to say all-time DC because I would say Washington would be Richie Pettybones, my man.
But the best one right now is the guy in Philadelphia.
It's Philly.
He's also got the horses.
Yeah,
he's got stallions in that barn everywhere.
Yeah, because they draft. That's a whole different argument. Yes, I agree. I agree with that too. I don't know. That's a good point. Like that's a very good point. Again, he has a lot of dudes. Their front office has done very well with
taking advantage of people who ain't know what they're doing half the time. Exactly. I hate to say it.
Oh yeah, you know what? And I can't, to your point, George. I can't say the Giants do because it's Shane Bowen. I'm not familiar.
But we got Giants. You got to see this year because
they got talent though. But they got talent though.
You could be a bad coordinator. You got talent.
That's right. I've learned in Dallas, isn't he?
You could be a bad coordinator.
Oh, he's in Dallas. He's good.
Talent will make you look like you're a genius.
Matt Eberflus is a good defensive coordinator.
You're bad.
He's a head coach.
Terrible
he's
head coach.
Coordinator. He's a good coordinator though. He is a good coordinator.
Terrible head coach.
Should we keep Keith? Should we keep Luke from what your eyes tell you? Should we? Yes. Oh no, I got one. Should we? No. Will we? Yes. There you go. I can answer your question easy.
Yeah.
If you said should we?
I'm with Wole on that. Today was sort of like the last chance for me. And he had some catches and he had some plays on the special teams, but we've been talking. One of the things that people have talked about with Luka is always a good blocker, and when you whiff that bad on a short yardage play, and your running back loses 3 yards, I don't know. That was kind of the last. That's the straw that broke the camel's back for me with Luke.
I agree with Taj.
I can't say that. Because
look at all the former head coaches, though.
Nah, we ain't win no Super Bowl, man. I'm sorry. We ain't win.
Hey, hold on. The best staff doesn't always win the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry. I'm about the wins. I'm about the results. I'm not going off. I'm not doing my bias stuff. I'm not biased. I could do it. Not you. Told me. I'm talking. No, not you. I'm talking me. Nah, I'm gonna go off of you. The best staff who's won the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. That's how I look at it. And I don't even like Kellen Moore. The best staff won the Super Bowl.
He got a job because of that.
Yeah, I know.
He's head coach now.
Yeah.
Was it the best staff or was it the best players? Because they had better players.
They won the Super Bowl, man.
I mean, honestly, the best staff's probably Kansas City.
No, I ain't talking about NFC. He's talking about
NFC.
He's talking about NFC. He's talking about NFC East. In the East.
If you're talking about the NFC East?
Yeah, East.
I mean,
I like our stuff a lot. Don't get twisted.
In terms of talent and what they've done in their whole careers, I'll take our staff over anybody's.
Yeah, I get it. I understand that. That's fair.
I'll say that. I'll say that because and to have a guy like Anthony Lynn as your running backs coach is pretty darn awesome.
No, it's awesome. No, I like our staff too a lot.
But have we forgot though? They won the Super Bowl. Have we forgot that like the first 3 weeks, Philadelphia fans in Philly was on suicide watch?
That's fine.
Oh no, that's true.
No, that's fine.
That's very true.
I just
until
said
they featured Saquon, they were in trouble.
Here, sorry, man. It only gets flagged.
No. All I'm saying, that's funny. All I'm saying is like it's how it ended. They won the bowl. That's all I care. That's it. That's how. You gonna tell me
if it wasn't for a drop, they would have gone unbeaten for like 3 months or 4
Look,
months.
Man, you say there's a bunch. I'm saying you give us those players. That's a hypothetical thing. I don't know to be real with you. I don't know if Joe Witt Jr. coaches that defense the same. I don't know if they're the same thing. I don't know if the secondary is the same. That's ifs. You're giving me hypotheticals.
Because let's say this about Vic Fangio and what he did. Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, both rookies, and look what he got out of them.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I'm not going to do. They won the Super Bowl. Their defense won the Super Bowl.
And they did it and they stomped the what out of
everybody. No one respects
week in the playoffs.
Yeah, and no one respects. Look, I'm gonna get another one. I don't either. No one respects Jalen Hurts as a great quarterback, like as an awesome quarterback,
except for Eagles fans who are just crazy about.
Look. But he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Their scheme won a Super Bowl. They got the Super Bowl with you can say added Saquon Barkley. They got the Super Bowl without Saquon Barkley.
True.
Oh, they won the Super Bowl without Saquon Barkley.
They won 2 out of the last. Think about it. They won the 2 out of the last 4.
Yeah. Like I'm just saying, y'all. We can say whatever. I'm just telling you, like, if you want to be honest, point. That's like, yeah. I like my. If you telling me who the personalities and the coaches in terms of the resume, yeah, I'm gonna take I like my dudes more than them. But if I'm gonna tell you for real, we ain't win the bowl, so it ain't us.
True.
That's like me saying, do I think we have the best roster? I'd be like, if I felt like we had the best roster and the other team brought in their same roster that won the bowl last year, I'll tell you the team that won the bowl because they won. Like, Glen reference wrestling, like, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. You gotta beat the man.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing applies. Yeah. Timothy, yeah, we have several former head coaches on the staff. Did any of them win a ring as a head coach?
No, because if they did, they wouldn't be here.
That's a good point.
But they all have.
Teams,
I mean, and that's
Dan Quinn was close. Ray knows. Dan Quinn was close. Ray knows.
And we know who we blame for that though.
Yeah, it's Kyle.
Yeah, let's not go there. Let's not go there. But I just want to say this about none of them have a ring as a head coach, but these are all guys who've had success as coordinators, and they've had some success even as coaches.
Yeah,
Anthony Lynn's made the playoffs as a head coach. Cliff made the playoffs as a head coach.
Yeah,
so these guys have had some success, and what I would say is that's why it's so great that we have them, because not only are they experienced and they've got a lot of good experiences, they are just as hungry as the rest of us are. That's why. That's also why I feel like everything is in place except one very big elephant in the room that's not been dealt with yet and needs to be dealt with. That's why I'm so frustrated about the Terry thing. I want it done because everything is. Everything's in place for the most part.
I ain't talking about Terry, bro.
No, I know we're not. I don't want to go there either.
On the field, bro.
Show. We've been on for almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
but we've got so much stuff that's right and ready to go, and we are cherry ripe to win something. And we got to get that settled so that we can do it. Because all the other oars are going in the right direction. We're rowing this boat, and it's going in the right direction for one thing.
Thanks, Todd. I was like,
I
don't do it.
want to hit Santiago's comment real quick. He said the tush push is the biggest advantage for the Eagles because of it's hard to stop. Hey, they only use the tush push when your defense don't make stops. And your defense, if they get in the third and 1, so if defense is able to stop them until 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, we ain't got to worry about the tush push. So that's what the defense got to be better.
Yeah, I hate that crap. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but it is what it is. I'm
not again. Don't hate the player, man. Don't hate the player.
No, man. I'm not getting. Look, that could be a long discussion. It is all right. I hate that rule too. I hate it all. So Washington stopped it. Yeah, and then Frankie had to try like 100 times to try to do like some offsides crap. Go ahead. Yeah, what you want to say?
I was gonna say, and not to sound like an Eagles fan, but it's like I know one way you could stop it is to make Jalen Hurts so bad that he doesn't want to do it anymore.
That too.
It's like you got to take your shots at Jalen Hurts when they give you the chance to. Saying.
They'll lie. Yeah, it is what it is. I got like a lot of stuff about that. The Bills tried it, but failed versus Kansas City because Josh Allen ain't as good as Jalen Hurts at it. Jalen Hurts has a good Jalen Hurts. It's a whole different. I mean, I guess there's some type of skill to it.
There's a mindset to it.
It's some type of skill too with leverage and his
skill.
And what he can squat too helps him out too. What he can squat
is a skill set and mindset. It's identity. It's an identity move because if you look at their offense, their offensive line buys into it, right? It's something they do well. They want to get in those situations. The fans buy into it, right? The fans buy into it. The coaching staff buys into it. The league buys. People love it because they buy into it. So now it's starting to become a culture.
It's on a little thing. It's its own little thing.
It's their thing. So it's growing. It's their own thing.
Yeah, man. If it was like NBA, it'd be like if it was like NBA Showdown back in the day, it'd be like their signature move.
Right.
It'd be like their signature move. Hey, this has been dope. We about to like George said, we went like 2 hours in this thing. It's crazy. But yeah, talking about the last preseason game going 2 hours. Who would have thunk it? That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, but I'm glad y'all did because I had the opportunity to get in for my 44 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Because I felt bad for you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, this dude get here 5 minutes. Now we're not gonna do 5 minutes. We're gonna stretch him out. What you got, Taj? Let me put on my Greg Williams hat. Hit Hurts in the legs early. Yeah, I mean that too. Definitely could be.
Yeah,
we could definitely do that too.
And you know what, Taj? The Eagles fan base is one of the only fan bases who can't complain about stuff like that if it happened.
Yeah, they would.
We don't have to go back into all of the history, but we'll do it. If I ever hear an Eagles fan complain about dirty play, it'd be like Charles Manson complaining about other people getting murdered.
Yeah.
Well, hey, y'all, we appreciate y'all for pulling up. This has been dope.
Appreciate you.
We'll have a show on Thursday. We'll talk about all of this stuff. What transpired, rosters, depth chart. We'll go.
It should be all finalized by Thursday.
Yeah. So we'll have it all, and we'll get to discuss it. We'll talk about it, and then we'll just kind of. Actually, I'm out Thursday. You guys don't have to do it because I'm on a plane in Houston. So you guys will do it. Okay. All right.
Hey, we'll talk about it. We can do it Tuesday if you want. I mean
Tuesday, I can't do it. 9. Yeah, I can probably do it Tuesday. All right. We'll talk about it though. Yeah. But you know what? Yeah, because it'll be right after. Yeah, because that'll be right after, right? Because it cuts on Monday. Because of Tuesday or Monday.
It's Tuesday, but everything has to be finalized by Tuesday.
Oh yeah, definitely we can still do that. We can definitely do that. All right, y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up because I know Ray and I got our show on Tuesday. Or I got a show. I have a show on Tuesday. I can do it at 9. I can do around 9. That works. That does work actually. All right. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. You guys are awesome. You the real MVP, Darth Vader. You went to Jaspers or something? You talking about Darth Vader?
No, they're talking about me talking about all the stuff that the Eagles fans can't complain about dirty play because all the stuff they've done in the past.
I thought you were talking about something else. All right, what about to say? Anyway, hey, appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. You guys are dope. I mean, y'all, the support is real. The new individuals who found us too. I appreciate y'all. I'm glad y'all like what y'all hear, man. We here
thanks
on Thursday
for joining
nights
us.
At 9:30. That's our consistent night. And every game, we got the day of every game, we got a pregame show, which is about an hour before the game, and we have a post-game show that's right after the game. So just know that we're here. We're here for you. We're here for you, Commander fans. So just pull up anytime. Enjoy the chat. Enjoy the vibes because that's what we're all about. Good vibes. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold. Everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene, Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. Yiddy deuces. We are out.